All right, my friends, how are you today? My name is Eschenburg, and I'm going to be talking about the message, the story, and the planetary alignment that's going on above us. We've got the moon in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is about belief. We have the sun in the sign of Leo. It's about courage. It's about being ourselves, expressing ourselves, shining our inner light. Where the sun in Leo is the ruling planet. Planet just means wanderer. To the Greeks, it's the things that wandered in the night sky. So the sun is home in the sign of Leo. This is where we shine our light. We continue to shine our light. And we're making a transition here on planet Earth collectively. This is evolutionary astrology that we talk about here every day on this channel. From the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And there's a strong message that came through, a beautiful download that I'm excited to share with you about this. And it's about belief. We're going from a place of belief, which is Pisces. And we have our two planets, Jupiter and Neptune, of expansion in the sign of Pisces. Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius, but in old astrology, it also ruled the sign of Pisces before we discovered Neptune. So we're in the age of belief. Now we're moving into we were in the age of belief, and now we're moving into the age of knowing. And there's a really fun thing going on with the south nodes, or with the south node, the nodes of the moon. South node being in Sagittarius, which is a sign associated with Jupiter. Okay, and this is about learning, this is about education, this is about philosophy, this is about the storytelling of other people. That's what I'm doing here. I'm a storyteller. And I'm just reading these planets, whether that's true or false, or right to one or wrong to another. It's all I'm doing is reading the story of these planets. Now, I'm going to talk about something here in relation to what understanding this in deep level. I'm going to use the concept of flat Earth. It doesn't matter our belief of it or not. That's the point. It's about belief, going from belief to knowing. Now, you can ask anybody on the planet whether you believe the Earth is round or flat. How many people have actually been to space to see it themselves? They will have a perspective. Our perspective, our belief, is solely based on other people who have been in space to see for themselves. So we have this speculation. We have these beliefs, these ideas, whether it is or isn't. But we haven't actually been there to know. So we're just taking the word of mouth of somebody else. And unless it's the exact source that's writing the story, we all have played the telephone game. So we have an understanding, a knowing that once I say something, and this is my, I saw the face of God and something, and I can be very convinced, maybe that's what I saw, maybe it was my vision, and I share this story with somebody else, and then they share it with somebody else, and Aaron, eventually that story is going to change over time. So a lot of our beliefs, a lot of our even philosophies, our education, certain things are based on the belief of somebody else or somebody else's concept or idea of this life. Now, there are certain things like mathematics and science, of course, that have more friction as far as functionality and factuality. 2 apples and 2 more apples, we have 4 apples. We can measure certain things in science, we can measure certain things in math, and that are factual. Or again, the knowing again of what tapping on wood to tapping on glass or tapping on metal sounds like. There's a preconceived idea. But these are easy things for us to experiment for ourselves. Now, I only use the concept of flat Earth because it's a very limited amount of people that can actually say, I have been to space. I have seen it, and whether you believe my perception or not. Okay, now the other side of this is if we haven't been there, if that's not where our light is meant to shine, we each have, I'm not a NASA scientist. I'm not flying to space. I can't say whether it is or not. Does my opinion whether the Earth is round or flat matter? Do I need to communicate about it? Again, I'm communicating about it right now because it's the narrative of the underlying theme, but we can look at this as religion. You know what? John Smith looked into a hat and found, dug up some things in this Mormon religion. And we believe, Mormon believe in this, and I'm not making fun of anything. I'm just saying, we believe the stories, and even astrology. This is part of the message as well. It's just like, can I factually say Venus factually represents money and value and a love and adoration for things and people? No, I cannot. I can't. But what we can do is say, okay, our ancestors created something, a story, a calendar system, but a story for the times to help us out. The zodiac is all about balance. It's all things. It incorporates all things. The planets themselves represent personality traits that we have. So we can use these storytellings to help humanity, to help people out, to discover things about themselves or have an understanding of nature or life or where we're at. But it's still storytelling. So when we look at education or religion, what I was taught about Christopher Columbus in school versus what's taught now is vastly different because it's a different perspective. The wars that have been fought, conquered, and victorious in their fights, and were the victor in the hero versus the villain. Well, the villain was probably doing, not always, but probably doing something out of their love and desire and passion as well for something positive. It's most of the time it's not out of something, wanting to cause harm and anger and torture to be, sometimes. But anyway, I don't want to get on that tangent, sorry. But belief, and we're going to have the moon here connected to Neptune. Let me show you the chart again for a second, because it's like almost this doesn't even matter. It was the download. It was about the understanding of what the story is. So it's... Belief. Whose words are we believing? What are we believing? What are we letting go of? What matters? Does the religion matter? People die for it. People die for their beliefs. Sometimes it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes it's a wonderful thing. But is it knowing? Factual. Is it something worth? Is it something worth fighting over? Is it worth fighting over? Is it worth me having a conversation, fighting over somebody worth? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah. I'm just going to leave it there because it's really about possibility. And this concept about belief can be taken to anything in life that we look at. Any education, any philosophy, any religion, any storytelling that we haven't actually done and gone unseen ourselves. And even then, it's still our perspective. Oh my God, I went to the Rifle River, it was so beautiful. Somebody else went, it was not that cool. Belief. What do we believe? Who do we believe? And are we willing, and can we, shine our light in the area that we're supposed to and communicate about what matters to us and the things that we can do to make a difference here on this planet? Again, Einstein was geared toward light. That was his thing. He had shined his light on a different area, making the best crepe. It's like that's not where his light was meant to shine. So debating it is almost a waste of, I don't want to say a waste of time, but yeah. All right, friends. Have a beautiful day. This is cool energy. So I love you. I wish you enough expansion on this journey inward. And we'll see you tomorrow.